one-day release. Demon sub tries not to crease. And Beanwise keeping nice and warm, in bed with Russian uniform. Meanwhile, the Candyman is opening another can. Technical difficulties, they're really such a crime. Technical difficulties, they happen all the time. It's Yellow Belly Tabletop time. It's Yellow Belly Tabletop time. It's Yellow Belly Tabletop time. Sometimes they're salty about the gaming biz, and nobody knows who Upworlder is. Technical difficulties, they're really such a crime. Technical difficulties, they happen all the time. It's Yellow Belly Tabletop 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 time.
I haven't backed it yet. Oh, no sound.
Oh, great. Yay!
Yay.
I love my computer.
Boys and girls, please let me know
Fucking
if I
hell.
have got sound right now for you
I'm
guys.
90% you have audio, mate, because I can hear you echoing, and I'm just going to have to fix that
Paul
because
is a little bit preoccupied right now with technical difficulties. Both sound both loud and clear.
yeah. As I say, mine was initially dead. I could tell that straight away because I have my monitor on. So when I wasn't hearing myself talk, I was like, "That's a bad sign." Just let me get rid of David's echo, which is this one here. We need to.
David only echoes.
Yay! David Echo is now gone. Good evening, everybody. Oh dear, I don't know what's happened to my camera. Let's have that adjusted. Oh, tell you what, it's too hot. I'm fucking knackered. Hard day at work. Good evening. Let's give everybody.
Because we're going to cook even hotter on Monday at club.
Oh my god, is it going to be even fucking warmer?
Yep.
Stop.
32 degrees, I reckon.
I don't like weather like this. For fuck's sake, I'm British. We got the oh god, I'm gonna have to fix that as well. We've got the comment wars going by the looks of it. Everybody's fucking going for number one. Right, let's give a shout out to everybody in the chat. We got Cheese Me, we have Upworlder, we have Darren, we have Spam and Egg, we have who else do we have?
Hang on, no, you haven't done the Spam and Egg intro properly. Everybody can.
Look,
there
we don't have any new viewers. We only have the old viewers. They know it's David's other half.
What about new users on the internet that might be watching us on catch up?
There won't be any, mate. Have you seen our engagement? We are the most hardcore of hardcore over here on Yellow Belly Tabletop. Hello, Shakos. Good to see you, sir.
We're not overly popular.
She's doing her own intro now, mate. David's a better half. There you go. You see, that's great. You guys, if you guys can do your own intros from now on, that will save me 2 minutes of my life every Thursday. Awesome.
How many hours of your life have you wasted doing intros?
Oh dear. Oh god. Here we go. Not enough GW. Shut up, cheese me. Oh my god. How very dare you, sir?
Wash your mouth out with a bar
How
of
very
fucking
dare you.
soap, boy.
So yeah, welcome to another 2-hour hobby live stream on. It's Thursday night. Nobody's got anything better to do because the weather's beautiful outside, and so sit in a darkened room with a load of nerds
I
playing
know
with
it
toy
may
soldiers and talking
I know
about.
it may be a little soon, and Crispin's not here.
Oh god.
But has anybody seen the fact that Texas had all of Britain's rainfall and Britain's currently baking like Texas?
Yeah, I was gonna say before we get hyperbolic here, I think Crispin is gonna come wading in, going, "Just hold on there, boy. You don't fucking know, hot." Oh dear. Apologies to everybody who's from the southern states. That was my best effort. Give me an A for effort, E for attainment. I'm happy with that. Crispin stole our rain, yeah. Fucking yeah. They didn't see that coming. Fucking hell. They should try a couple of summer breaks in Derbyshire. They'd have soon seen that fucker coming. Yeah, Taros, nobody knows what temperature is in the US. They use silly numbers. It's all fucking made up, isn't it? Oh, it's 96 degrees.
Like, fuck is it?
How the fuck can it be 96 degrees? You're making it up. Oh dear. Right. So, we'll follow our usual format tonight, guys. Probably I'm going to be chill tonight because I am absolutely burned out. I had a change of scene at work today, working at a new location. So I'm just going to be taking it in my own pace. I might do some hobby. I might not do some hobby, but we'll see. So what David and I will show you what we're going to be working on. David's beavering away as he always does.
I am beavering.
Captain, I am the hobby SWAT over in the corner here.
Please, sir, I'm teacher's pet this week.
Fucking creep, isn't he? And then we'll have a quick chat about Gaming Club, which we always do. What we got up to on Monday night. We have the painting competition to show off. I don't think I had any community submissions this month. But
fucking hell, that's a little bit of a diatribe, isn't it? That you've got one entry to show.
Two. So we've got 2 entries. Anyway, there's that. Then we'll talk about some news or something. And then about 9 o'clock-ish, we want to do a very informal topic tonight. It's really something that I've always had a bee in my bonnet about, is this idea of making the hobby, by that I mean miniature wargaming specifically, making the hobby popular, okay? And everything that comes with that. And to be honest with you, it's going to be one of them conversations where I don't think there's a wrong opinion. And I personally would just like people to throw in with whether they think it's a good idea, bad idea, never going to fucking happen, great aspiration, whatever. Just chat and chill and talk about that. That's what I thought we'd do. Yeah, making that. Cheese me. I don't want to be popular. Yes. Darren says, my hobby today has been reading through my new Kickstarter award, 28 mag hardcover book by Dave Taylor. Okay. What's Dave Taylor's current book about, mate? Because doesn't he do like sort of books about the wargaming hobby, sort of like meta books, like he'll do a book on Napoleonics or that sort of thing? Or is that the Dave Taylor I'm thinking of? Because he get involved with what's his name, the terrain tutor Mel? Didn't he sort of get involved with Mel's book project? Or am I completely getting this all arse scrambled in my brain? Correct me if in the chat if I'm not. Shakos says it already is, isn't it? There's more gaming shops in Sheffield than vape shops. Lies. No. Dear. Okay, Darren. So it's a compilation of stuff he did for other magazines. What, like wargaming mags and that sort of thing. The militaria stuff. Sweet. Yeah, it is him. Okay, cool. I roughly know what you speak of, sir.
The fuck?
Fucking hell. The dad jokes have started already. And this is why wargaming will never be popular. Shako says, I'd prefer the hobby to be large, really, rather than popular. So fucking bad.
Oh, fucking child.
Right, mate. Do you want to go first with what you're working on? Because you're actually working on something. Just an idea.
Come on down. I'll move some instructions so you can see what I built at the very tail end of stream last week.
DJ, what? What's
up, DJ?
It's telling me I don't have your camera image, but I fucking do.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Properties. Paste. Go.
Paul's getting old, boys and girls. That light's really pissing me off. Move.
Go. You're live on the internet. Ooh, little 15mm tanks.
Name that tank. Name that 15mm tank. Go.
Don't. No, it's some sort of Sherman M3.
It's an American.
It is American.
Oh, Shakos coming in with the
M18 Hellcat.
Yes,
well
Paul, it isn't glued. I can do things with my tanks.
Okay. Fucking hell.
And then this one might be a bit harder for you, Shakos.
Because it's got no turret.
What is this the chassis of? Similar vein. Technically a tank destroyer.
I should know because I was standing next to him when he bought them at an M10 or an M36.
M36. Good man. Shakos knows his armor. Shall we see if Shakos can do 3 for 3?
That's pretty fucking impressive, to be fair.
Shakos, go.
Tom Ross, a wrongly built kangaroo. Lehman Russ. Oh dear, all the sensible guesses. To be fair, isn't that what Rich he's got? We've got offers of Bedford and Opel Blitz. I guess that
it is an Opel Blitz. It is an Opel Blitz. Got it right. But James, I will shout you out. This shit is killer for Rubicon.
So this is the plastic magic that's red hot for gluing Rubicon kits.
Because it's ABS. Works really well on it.
Okay.
Bit expensive, bit pricey. £7 for the bottle versus the £4 that I've historically spent for Tamiya.
Okay.
But actually, I think they're about the same size.
I was going to say they look very similar volumes in terms of the bottle.
Tamiya doesn't even list what the volume is on it because it's German and American. This is 40mm and this is made in the UK.
Cool.
It's magic because it's plastic glue and it actually works on ABS.
Fucking hell.
It's quite good. It also will work on styrene, plastics, and other glues. Low odor, super thin cement for invisible joints, bonds ABS, styrene, and plastics. Other glues cannot. We'll also do polyester, polycarbonate, PVC. Doesn't tell me what's inside it while I'm ingesting it, so that's good.
Shakos says that's why I said buy it at the show, no postage, and they had it for $4.95.
I didn't buy this at the show. I bought this at my local.
He's
shop.
supporting his local gaming shop.
It's also where I got this from, because they have Rubicon at 20% less than Rubicon prices. Which you think Rubicon's already fucking cheap enough. I now have a problem because it's only 5 minutes from work.
That's funny. Demon says, I remember early GW poly cement that dissolved the bottle as they used the wrong plastic. Why am I not surprised?
Acrylobutylstyrene is ABS, I believe. So tonight we're mainly building shit, and then once I've done some building of shit, I'm going to move on and finish the Secret Service posse for Wild West Exodus.
Oh, she's nice.
She is nice. She is also nice. She also has a fucking massive gun.
Fucking hell. They look really good.
Where is Abraham Lincoln? Come here, Abraham. Where are you? There you are, sir. Just needs to get his beard and his inner jacket done. That red's amazing. And tidy up his black coat. So yes, we have ways of making your talk. Is the WWX Wayland Expo salt cleared? Not really, Shakos. Gloss over that.
To be fair, he was still going on about it while we were playing our game of Wild West Exodus, not the week gone, the week before.
It'd have been nice to have some hex beasts to have turned my dead models into, but no, not allowed to do that. Anyway, sir, you can come away from my desk cam now. I need to find my wet palette because I think my wet palette is probably drier than the Sahara.
Yeah, your wet palette is probably that in name only, mate. I should say. So, what am I going to do? What am I going to be doing? Oh, that's why I didn't have your fucking camera, because I've overwritten my camera.
Is there another round of Guess the Armoured Fighting Vehicle? Probably
What do you mean?
Not. Chakos was asking if there's going to be another round of Guess the Armoured Fighting Vehicle.
Well, that's up to you. You're the... Well, you go on then. Because I don't know if he's psychic and he knew what I was going to be putting up on screen. But, yeah. So, if I do some hobby tonight, I am prepping for painting camo on, funnily enough, an armoured fighting vehicle. So, this is what we are doing at the moment. As I said before on a previous live stream, I want to obviously put in the chat what this is. Then you can continue playing your name that armoured fighting vehicle. So what I wanted to do was...
Evening, Crispin.
Evening, Crispin. What I wanted to do was reproduce the sort of sand ocean blue camo pattern that was used in the early stages of the Marianas and Peleliu campaign.
Why is it that every time I go to say it, I want to say pilau?
That's rice, yeah. I don't know what the correct pronunciation is. If you're watching at home and I've just completely butchered that, then by all means correct me. Yeah, that's an LV. This is an LVT. The It's a 2. It's a 2. The 4 is the water buffalo, which is this one. And in fact, so what this is the 2A, 2 armored, because they actually put it had a big gun on it and a turret. This is the standard 2. He says, knocking his camera. So this is the standard 2. This we're just going to do. So this had the landing compartment to bring troops ashore, and then a load of machine guns for defence. This we're going to leave in the standard USMC ocean grey or ocean blue, whatever the fuck colour it is. What they found early on in the campaign, this was fine for out in the water and coming ashore, but then as they went inland, this left them a little bit vulnerable to Japanese attack. So they started adding various camouflage patterns in theatre to the working vehicles. And I believe that they did add it to both the landing craft and the armoured vehicles. But because I wanted to paint lots of different options, I hate painting the same thing multiple times. I thought, well, what I'll do the camo on the armoured one, because it makes sense, because it'll be going inland to press the attack. And I've only done this technique once before. This is what I did on my Japanese Chiha.
Did you glue your turret on this?
No, it is free to rotate. So basically the first step is to take blue tack, or some sort of hobby tack, roll it into a thinnish sausage, and then press it firmly onto the model. I have applied a fairly heavy coat of satin varnish to the model to protect the first layer of paint, because this can get a bit tacky and you don't want to peel the underlying paint off when you remove it. So the first step is to position the sausages to create the camo pattern as you want.
Is it a hard-edged camo then?
Sorry?
Is it hard-edged camo?
Well, what you'll find is it doesn't matter how careful you are with these, you will get a bit of bleed with the airbrush where it'll bleed under. So when you peel it, you won't get a super crisp edge. And it actually looks quite good. I think so anyway. So I can't remember where I nicked this technique on YouTube. Obviously, I'm not clever enough to come up with these ideas on my own. This is somebody else's idea. He walks always for pressing his sausage on a model.
Dirty bastard.
That's fucking excellent.
Dirty bastard.
So yeah, obviously form the camo pattern that you want with the blue tack. Next step is obviously to mask where you want the model to stay grey or blue, and the way to do that is simply get toilet tissue paper that's ridiculously soft and flexible, and literally with your nail press it into the blue tack so that effectively this hangs off one side of the blue tack sausage. And again, because of the toilet tissue is so soft and flexible, you can gather it up and pleat it and pinch it and get it to follow pretty much any contour. It's a little bit fiddly, but when that's done, you literally just whip the airbrush over it and it'll spray everywhere that you haven't covered with tissue. And
Have
when
they
everything's
not invented masking tape in your part of the world?
Yeah, okay, you try using masking tape on that. Good luck.
I have historically.
Right, well,
on
you can do
scale
it.
Shit.
You can do it live on stream, and good luck to you. I find this way easier because to do natural curves with masking tape, no, fuck that. I did try, but I hope you and your family are okay there, Crispin. His son was closer on the 4th as he went tubing. Yeah, do you know what? It's good that it's old school, because so am I. So yeah, if I do anything tonight, I intend to get this down on the model. Obviously, I've got some more if we don't have enough there.
I do like American Western front armor, because American Western front armor is a fucking breeze to paint.
Just green.
Olive drab, go! Olive drab, go! Olive drab, go!
So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. Then obviously we'll put the tissue on it. I don't think I'll get to doing the airbrushing with the best will in the world, but you never know. And
shall we talk?
Just so that I can show, this is the 4. So obviously the LVT underwent various modifications during the campaign. By the time they got to the end of the campaign, they'd modified the transport area, dramatically increased its size, fitted it with a landing ramp so that it can deploy troops much more effectively once it comes ashore. And they modified the upper hull. It had a much higher stand, which I guess was probably good for if you look at the 2 from wash. I bet you used to get a significant amount of flooding in the vehicle, which then had to be bilged out. So by the end of the campaign, they were running much higher upper hulls. Probably better for crew protection and that as well, to be fair. So yeah,
I love the fact that the Lincolnshire boy is more concerned about flooding than crew protection.
Yep. That's the way we roll here in the Fens.
To be fair, if you went to Crowland, you could have seen one of them being dug out of the sea bank.
Really, an LVT?
Yes, because after the war, interesting historical tidbit for you boys and girls. It has been removed from the sea bank now because it's been found, but there's another one. In 1953, there was a massive flood in northern and western Europe, England, Denmark, Germany, France, all that kind of shit along the coast. It punched through the River Welland at Crowland, and to plug the gap, the British military went, fuck it, let's throw a water buffalo in it.
That's pretty cool. That is very cool, in fact. So that's interesting. Ewok says you can pre-cut the masking tape into shapes before applying to the model. That makes sense on smaller scale stuff, but obviously a long, wavy, natural curve that might, curve through 90 degrees. How the hell do you cut a narrow piece of tape so that the curve is smooth? And then when you've done that, how do you then mask off the large area between the strips of tape?
But it comes in multiple widths. The small stuff's actually quite flexible.
But again, how do you mask the big areas? Or do you just put
with
tons
wider
of tape?
With wider tape, mate.
So what? You buy 4-inch masking tape?
Not necessarily 4 inches. 4 inches is a bit big. Shut up, you dirty bastards.
Oh, that's brilliant. 4 inches is a bit big. Oh my god.
I do believe
that's what he said.
She currently may be choked.
That's fantastic. Brilliant. Right. So the club. We obviously had our board game night at club, and we didn't actually play a board game as such, but what we did do was we got 6 people playing Commander in 2 pods.
Because we had
7,
a pod of 4 and a pod of 3.
Yeah, so yeah, we had. That's right, because we had a 4, didn't we, with Charlie?
Yes.
So yeah, we played Commander. and it was really good fun. My pod was 4 really good, slow, well-paced decks. The decks were both playing, all 4 decks were playing the game at roughly the same pace, and it was great because all players stayed in almost until the moment where they didn't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It built to the point where the ending came quickly, and then I was the winner. I think it literally only went 2 turns before we went from 4 to 1. And that's nice. Sometimes with Commander, it can be a bit, somebody gets taken out after 10 minutes, and then it's a bit of a shit show because
Welcome to my table.
Is that what happened at yours?
Yeah, Ynet, the Cryptic Sovereign, didn't like the look of the Merfolk deck, so Ynet, the Cryptic Sovereign, just went, yep, we're going to punch the Merfolk to death. Then we're going to claw on by our nails against the 40k Inquisition Commander deck. That's a really fucking good deck. The best thing is my Ynet deck does a lot of scry and card manipulation bullshit because it likes playing with the top cards of the deck. I did a scry on Sonny Zenstep, who was the lad I was playing with after I'd kicked the Merfolks of Trevor out of the game. And had a Devastation Tide as the next card that was going to be drawn. For those that don't know, Devastation Tide returns everything other than lands to your hands. And if it's the first card you draw in a turn, it can be cast for its miracle cost, which is 2 mana, a blue and 1. I would say I felt highly bad playing that, but it literally made the game last another 25 minutes.
Okay, cool. So you had to hit the great reset.
Yes. Again, Trevor calls it there. I had Sierra Avatar out like turn 8, and it's a 7 mana card. And its power and toughness are equal to my life total, which at that point of the game was 41. It was a little bit fucking disgusting.
That's ridiculous. Did you? No, you didn't win in the end, did you?
No, I didn't win.
Just picked. I won my pod just at the end. No, sadly, Paul Pandyman is the owner of the ubiquitous toilet deck. It was not there. But you do have a toilet deck.
I saw they're doing a Gundam one.
Is that are they doing a whole set of Gundam Commander decks, or is it a Gundam card release for Magic?
I don't know. You're mistaking me for somebody that gives a fuck.
We don't follow current contemporary Magic. We just play old historic Magic. Yeah, I think it's called that because it's shit, Cheeseby. I think that's the general gist, anyway. Oh dear. Right. So yes. Then we had a little bit of time left at the end, and we played the old version of the Game of Thrones card game. So the old collectible version before it went to edition 2, and before it was the living card game under Fantasy Flight's supervision. And I sat out, and basically the other 6 players played one of each of the factions that I've got a deck for, because I've got a whole collection of decks for that game. And I was sort of like referee, stroke umpire, stroke training tutor. And we only got about 3 turns in. It was not a full game by any stretch, but it made us realise how awesome the Game of Thrones card game is at higher player counts, with that ability to just completely fuck with other people. It's sort of like Commander but on steroids, where
Definitely.
Literally the table is making a group decision about who wins and who loses. It's a very interesting and fun card game. So yeah, we had a card evening.
And we had some new guys come down, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we had. Well, Charlie's not been for ages, even though he's an old hand.
No.
And then we had Sonny and Dexter, wasn't it? A couple of young
and
lads.
Jamie.
And Jamie was new. Yeah, your work colleague. So yeah, there was loads of new faces. Great to see so many people at club. Hopefully, we'll see them again. And they'll make a regular of it. Now then, we need to go to here. Let's do that.
Because it's painting competition.
Painting competition. So the only person who took any models on the night was myself. The theme was Citizen. So I just quickly knocked out some. These are the Thief models from the Triton Noir Assassin's Creed board game.
And now I'm going to get dogpiled in chat. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Dare I even look up?
To be fair, nobody's hashtagged you yet.
3, 2, 1. Where's Cheese Me?
That was spooky. Oh, 3, 2, 1. Just in case you're watching along, that wasn't set up. That was actually spontaneous. And so obviously we didn't do the awards thing because when you only have one entrant, it's stupid. So that was my entry. And again, it goes to underline the point of our painting event is not to win, but it's just to motivate you to do something.
I just unfortunately haven't had time this month.
And as I say, this is exactly what it motivated me to do. It was like, Citizen, what the fuck can I do? Oh, I need to paint these because we for my Assassin's Creed board game. Done. 3 hours. And V put a contribution in our group Discord, our club Discord. So I thought I'd show that off as well. Because, do you know what? Contribution is a contribution, wherever it comes from. So that was cool.
So, in other news, boys and girls, your next one's a biggie.
Yes. So, next month's painting event is, was it Centerpiece?
Centerpiece / big model or something like that.
Basic. Oh, okay. Thanks, Ewok. I'll have a look at that later. So this is, okay. This is a masking tape on as a, oddly enough, a mask for painting camo. Cool. I'll have a look at that. Yes. So Centerpiece / large model, I think it is. So anything big, just go big.
Red Rocket, here I come.
I'm not really sure because, to be fair, I don't really like big models that much.
Terrain. Terrain is the solution to this problem.
Yeah, it could be, couldn't it? Terrain might be.
Or finally paint your death cabbage.
Yeah, I was just thinking about death cabbage. Or I could finally paint one of my knights.
No, do your death cabbage and then do your knight as well. Just absolutely smash it up.
No, I'm not doing 2. Ooh.
Cheese me! Back in your box! So technically, he's a big model.
Yeah, do you know what? I was just thinking, what about the Assassin's Creed board game? There's that bloody great big, like,
Da Vinci tank.
That's fairly hefty, isn't it?
Oh, dude, I'll tell you what I've got.
Yeah.
And it'll work for Carnivale as well. The 2 towers from the AC board game.
Because I didn't get those because I watched a video where somebody said they look pretty but they're a twat when you're trying to play the game because you're constantly trying to reach around them. So I thought, won't buy them then.
Yes, but I have bought them because they're good for Carnivale.
Yeah, I have regrets because I wish I'd bought them for something else, but I think I was right not to buy them for the board game.
I mean, I wasn't into Carnivale at the time, but I just had a feeling, you know? You
Yeah,
get one of those
felt
vibes.
it in your water. Yeah, that was David's first share, Darren. Terrain. I still have loads of big like Carnivale terrain pieces to paint.
No, because they won't ever be fully complete anyway. Not that I'm salty.
Oh dear.
Actually, I'm going to ask the audience, boys and girls at home, my Rubicon SDK FZ305 comes with the option to just knocked it on the floor. Fuck it. It comes with the option of putting crew in or just putting a steering wheel in. This is for bolt action. What do you think?
You can't just have an empty cab. Put the crewman in.
Hot pinkle like Santa. That wasn't the question.
Well, it might have been the answer, but not to the question that you asked. I think. Why don't you look? Why don't if it's going to bother you? Why don't you just paint the guy before you put him in the model?
Because that requires me to keep the roof off, then paint all of the camo, and then glue it together at the end.
Oh my God, Shakos, that's. I'm not even gonna. I'm not even going to. Okay.
Oh, I tell you also what I did buy in the Amazon sale, boys and girls.
Oh, Damon makes a point. If the model is on the table, will you actually even see the driver?
Damon, I like your answer. We are doing that.
There we go.
I mean, I don't even really know why I'm putting benches in, but I'm putting benches in. It's pretty.
You're going to put benches in, then put the canopy on?
No, because I'm not going to glue the canopy on.
Oh,
it actually fits. It clips in quite well.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to have the canopy as a removable bit.
Talks of 4 inches and reach arounds. Oh, brilliant. Right, I think it's time.
It's the part of the show that we have come to know as the latest salty blizzard of nerdy sorrow. More news than you can shake the salt at. More news than you can shake the salt at.
Oh, right. News. Oh, dear. That's a little bit small, isn't it? That's not the right size. What's
the
happened
story
there?
in Balamory? Why have we got your fucking desk in the background?
Boom. There you go. Right. Do you know what? This had better fucking sort itself out.
Just punch it, dude.
Da da
Just punch it.
do. Da da dum dum da. Go larger. Go larger. Go larger. No, not that one. Hang on a minute. Go larger. Yay, that looks better. It's still not great. Obviously, we're still wrestling with this stupid OBS bug, which means that if I don't fucking keep David on screen at all time, I lose his audio completely. Because obviously, I don't want OBS running in the background while I look at other things. Why would I want to do that? That's completely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
You want to use OBS to stream with?
Yeah, I'm beginning to regret it. So, oh, yes, okay, so while we were arsing about, look at them.
Yeah, they've already gone off on one.
Oh dear. Oh, Midwinter movies. Oh, I watched both of these. Sadly, Darren, so did I. Is this the pros and cons? It is indeed, Crispin. Okay, right. Yes, 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 and yes. This is the arsehole who basically said everybody who plays historical war games is an N-word, and probably every other sort of insult. I don't particularly like Midwinter Minis. I'm sure he's a reasonable guy. He said being as diplomatic as he humanly could be, but I don't like 40k in Games Workshop, so I don't watch his content. However, I wanted to call this out not for any positive reason, but I just wanted to sort of do a dip test on the audience's opinion, and I think I've got it. Right. What he did was, he basically recorded the same video twice. It's got the same content, but it's one of the videos is the world's most optimistic and positive spin on 40k, and the other video is the most cynical and miserable spin on 40k. And he sort of admits at the end of the videos that he did it as like a social experiment because he suspected that the negative YouTube content would get more views. I think you're being optimistic there. What's his name? Guy? I think you're being optimistic, Guy. The reason this one got 171,000 views and the other one got 92,000 is that 40k is shit. Currently and specifically. But oh, don't get me started on Discourse. I cannot fucking stand her channel anymore. I used to enjoy it. Go back 2 years, I used to watch her content. It's now the most derivative clickbait bog shit. I can't be bothered with it. What do people think about this idea that you literally just film content for the sake of filming content? He is not giving any kind of opinion. He isn't editorializing, because if he is, one of these is a total fiction. He is literally just generating what the audience wants to hear, one video for each half of the audience. My immediate reaction to watching this was, this is the lowest point of wargaming media I've ever seen. I think we've got as low as we can go at this point. Something that is literally a concocted, scripted fabrication to service nothing more than clicks and views. Am I wrong?
Question though, which one were you recommended first?
I was recommended the best it's ever been first by the algo.
Because from what I've seen, a lot of people have been recommended the negative shit first.
Cheese me. Now we can go much lower. Yeah, this. Look, I totally get somebody says, Damon saying that, you know, that's how the algorithm works, and, you know, Cheese me saying you need to do this too. But, look, where's the conviction? Where's the honesty? Where's the connection to what you're talking about? That's the only question I would ask. I mean, this is a bit like, you know, I watch an actor play a really good part or do a good job acting in a movie I've got no fucking interest in or I'm not engaged with whatsoever. And I think, oh, he did quite a convincing performance there. Don't really like the movie though. And you're telling me that that's what this has come to in like hobby content now. This is like, it's literally performative trash with no integrity or value. Well, if that's what you're telling me, I guess that's what you're telling me.
I don't necessarily want to go on the warpath and the attack because, again, he has a bigger channel. But you are calling into question his integrity, and from things I have heard on the internet regarding Midwinter Minis,
are they saying he doesn't really have much? You don't say.
But
yeah,
hey,
exactly.
Who am I to judge?
Yeah. Hi, Rich. Just in time.
Evening, Rich.
Just in time to watch us slag off 40k again. And
every week he does it. Every week, just as we're kicking the shit out of the puppy that is 40k, does Rich turn up?
So Damon says, yeah, as I say, I watched this and I just thought I was utterly gobsmacked. And and I'm, you know, and to actually say honestly at the back end of each video, and if you enjoyed this video, go and watch its mirror image over here. It's like, yeah, fuck off.
Hang on, is he appealing to audience members with dementia because they're older?
Rich, I should call my wife 40k. Videos are super cheap. Oh, mate. Anyway, let's move on. I got it off my chest. I think I feel good that a lot of you guys agree with me. It's just like, do you know what? If you have to make content a particular way to feed the algorithm, it's like discourse, right? If you have to make negative clickbaity shit for the views to feed your ad revenue to get there, fine, do that. But at least at least give the impression that that's what you are doing, and not saying, you know, not literally say, I don't mean any of this, but it's going to feed the algo, lovely. Fuck off. Yeah, definitely should have had the salt shaker going for that. Now, did somebody name drop this in the chat earlier? Hard War.
Yeah, and I was asked if I'd bought any new games.
Yeah, I mean, again, discourse picks a point. I mean, it's always the most negative, hyperbolic, overstated point. But she picks a point and then, like, defends it in her sort of way. It's not as if she says, you know, today, this is horrible. But tomorrow, it'll be lovely.
And at least when discourse is milking you for ad revenue, she doesn't turn around and say, "Oh well, while you're at it, just go feed the revenue, watch the mirror image of this, and you'll make me a really happy boy."
Yeah, just watch all of my videos. Yeah, as I say, I just find her stuff fucking wearing now, and it's just the clickbait titles. The fill in your own drama just got worse. Stop using that title. Just stop. The D&D scandal got worse. Didn't. That didn't happen. That's not what happened. Nothing happened. There was no story. It was nothing. It was literally less than nothing. Shut up. Don't get me started. Oh, that's the wrong person.
Who's the wrong person?
I was just salt shakering you. Well, David can sort of waft the salt over to me. Yeah, so Hard War. Have you seen this, mate? Modifius put up a quick start battle report, consortium versus syndicate.
No, because I'm staying away from it.
Oh, don't.
Because if I don't stay away from it, I'm going to spend money.
Spend your money.
And so far, I'm beating you in the sweepstakes.
I tell you what, you should watch this video.
No, I shouldn't. No, I shouldn't.
I
no,
forgot. Look, Cheesemy says, "Do it, do it." I was actually I played the demo at UKGE. I still got excited watching this demo, this battle report, because I thought, Jesus Christ, their dice mechanic is clever. I remember thinking it at UKGE, and then I watched this again, and it was like, God, this game looks good. You should see the models. They do close-ups, mate. They look really good.
No. Actually, though, can I just get this on a technicality right?
What?
No, just hear me out. I'm just seeing if I can do this on a technicality.
Just back it. It'll be delivered next year. It's next year. Back it now. It'll be delivered.
No, because that's not how it works, is it? Because we both have fucking Epic Warpath arriving whenever that arrives, and
yeah, but that'll be this year.
Yeah, but that was backed last year, and then that would therefore be a new game this year.
Well, yeah, so the way it works, Cheesemeat, first of all, I'd forgotten that the range in inches is your target number to hit, which is pretty cool. Secondly, your defense, your sort of like fight value, can be used defensively, and when you roll your d12s, you try and remove dice that you match from your opponent's dice pool to reduce their effectiveness. To sort of like mimic electronic countermeasures.
We'll take you through a turn. Paul is shooting at me, and the range is 24 inches. Paul will roll 6d12. I will roll 4d12, or whatever the value happens to be. If I match any of his values in his dice, they're just immediately removed. He then is adding.
Actually, you say that. They don't do that in the battle report. They literally move one for one. But carry on.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So when I score a 10, you score a 10.
Yeah, they cancel.
They cancel each other, yes.
But not if I roll multiple 10s. Or
no, it's I have to match exactly.
Yeah.
Paul then takes the remainders of his pool and adds up dice till he gets to 24 plus my armor, and then that is a successful hit roll.
Which does 1 damage. Night, Darren. And if there are any doubles in your attacking pool, that just adds 1 damage for a critical hit.
Nice.
And it's a really clever little system where you sort of like deal 2 or 3 damage. It means everything's got,
everything's a bit resilient.
It's again, once you add in effects where you can reduce attack dice, reduce defense dice. Cover works really well because cover will effectively add to your target number. So like if the range is 24 but you cross 6 inches of terrain, the range is actually 30, or the target number is actually 30. It's such a clever little system. I am quite interested. They keep stating throughout this video that this is the quick start version of the rules. So they've created 2 distinct versions of the game, I think. One which
Now
is
here's the question: Is this fucking BattleTech and BattleTech Alpha Strike all over again?
I don't know, is the honest mate. I'll be honest, Shakos, I really like the look of this game.
I'll back it if you back it, Paul.
Okay, that means we're backing it then.
Because then I can't be held legally responsible for breaking my pledge.
Yeah, I think I need to back this. Just because I like the game mechanics so much, because that's my thing.
To get jumped. And again, we did say we wanted a mech game. We did say we wanted a mech game.
Yeah. Shako says, Upworlder will back it for you, Dave, for a small donation.
No, I haven't broke my promise, because breaking my promise would imply that I've completed it. I've just forewarned everybody we might not be lasting another week. All right?
How much longer is the Kickstarter got to go?
I don't know.
Should I have a look?
No, you shouldn't.
No? All right then, I won't.
The less, you know that the more you know bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's the less you know. The less you know, the better it is.
Cheesley's calling you out. Do not try to bullshit your way out of this, David. Well said, Cheeseby.
I have not yet spent money, therefore I have not yet broke my promise.
Looks like Spam's getting a ring. Oh dear. 20 days to go. Thank you, Cheeseby. That saves me a job. Excellent.
Okay, so it's not even next week that I need to break my pledge. Awesome.
You got nearly a fortnight and change.
Got nearly 3 weeks.
Right, we've come round to 9 o'clock. We will be watching you, David. David. Oh dear. Right. Shall we get into the main topic?
Nobody's full named me yet, so this is fine. I'm waiting for fucking Spam to fly in through the door. Just going, what the fuck?
That's cool. Shakos is offering to back it for 3 sets. When's your birthday, Shakos? We might send you a present.
Yes, it is. It will not be arriving until May next year. I have already seen that.
Oh, fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
Cheeseme's in another country, so we're good in that regard.
To be fair, he'll be in a small boat. He'll be across that channel.
Fucking hell, that got dark quickly. Hey! If he does that, though, he can profit and back hard war on his way across.
Oh, dear. Sell that iPhone 14 and back hard for. Or whatever they give them. Oh! Upworlder's looking at Wings of Glory, thanks to Shakos. Yeah, that would be awesome. If you need it, yeah, do it. Do it, Shakos. We can sort a place for you to crash, I'm sure.
I was going to say, you're free August bank holiday weekend, didn't you, boy? Come on down. Right.
So, main topic. Are we sitting comfortably? I'm going to go and get my bottle of love juice.
No, because that. I'm sorry, what? Did you just say you're going to go get love juice?
great way to recycle paint water, I find.
What? I'm confused. I'm confused. I'm confused.
Tangy.
I'm confused. I'm really, really confused right now.
Right, okay.
Why do I feel like I've just been abducted by aliens?
This is bad. Oh dear. Yeah, just reaches under the desk. Oh, it's still warm.
We don't want warm drinks in this weather. What? Spam, you missed nothing. There is no need to go back through chat or to roll back the video content to see me.
Nothing to see here.
It's fine.
Look into my eyes, not around the eyes. Look into my eyes.
No, I haven't
No,
yet.
no. Oh dear. Right. So we've got this thing, right, haven't we? Where there's Games Workshop trying to be the biggest corporate fucking megalith since Amazon or fucking, I don't know, Disney Corp. And we've got it just seems to me as a miserable old fart in our hobby that we've like 4 inches being big. Spam, no, David! Exclamation mark.
I've got a feeling, boys and girls, she might end up bursting through that door in about 30 minutes.
That'd be fucking hilarious. Somebody erupts behind you and paddles your head in. Live on the internet. Yeah, so it seems to me as a miserable old git. We're constantly like berating ourselves because our hobby is so niche and our hobby is so weird and edge case, and it's difficult to find players and it's difficult to engage with family.
Well,
do you know what?
The thing is, it's become. Let's just roll it back a little bit, shall we?
Yeah.
It has become more popularized.
You've got an hour, Spam. Get in the car now.
Is David about to get spam? I haven't bought anything. It's been more popularized now in conventional like TV culture, movie culture, regards like D&D and board gaming and bits and pieces like that. They haven't necessarily got to the extent of pushing little plastic toy soldiers around on a battlefield, but it is becoming more and more commonplace. I mean, you only have to look at Stranger Things with the what's it called? With the entire D&D thing, and D&D also leaning into it for sales.
Yeah, but can I just be right? Okay. Let's stick with the D&D Stranger Things thing, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So Stranger Things has some sort of like weird shots where the kids are playing a version of D&D that's not actually real D&D and is, but it's faux D&D. And suddenly this has created a massive surge of interest in D&D in the public zeitgeist, and like D&D sales skyrocket. Sure, fine. People see Stranger Things and then they say to their friends, like back in my day, it was the beginning of E.T., the movie E.T., by Steven Spielberg. Same thing. The kids are all sitting down playing Dungeons and Dragons in the 80s, and it's like, what's that? That's cool. Um,
But again, Cheeseme's hit the nail on the head. It's the archetypal zeitgeist for how is this character a little bit weird and geeky and quirky? Oh fuck it, let's have him playing D&D. And I don't know how everybody else feels about that. Yes, I am a geek. Yes, I am really fucking hyper focused on my hobby and what I'm doing. But do I like being tarred with that brush of you like D&D, therefore you must be geeky. You're into miniature wargaming, therefore you must be geeky.
Well, it's true though, isn't it? It's like there was a reason when Henry Cavill was asked about whether he played 40k. He said, "No, I just collect the miniatures and pay them," because he's not quite geek enough.
He's geeky enough to have little miniatures on his shelf, but not geeky enough to throw dice.
We have a little bit too much jock and not quite enough geek. The other thing is, right, it's generated sales. And I'm going to be the most cynical bastard in the room, right? I'm going to say it now. I think that the 100% growth, the vast majority, 80% or more of the new people who bought a fucking 5th edition player's handbook because they saw it on Stranger Things, I'm calling it now. 80% of those people flipped the fucking thing on eBay within a fortnight and never read it. Read it and thought, what the fucking hell, why would you ever do this? Played it once with a group of other people who'd never played it before and said, what's all this about then? And then thought, nah, I'm never going to do this again.
Fuck this for a game of soldiers. It's fuck this for a game of soldiers, quite literally.
Shakos says, I reckon wargaming is already popular. RPGs are, and I think wargaming is past the same point. I bet there's more wargames than motorbike owners. I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, Shakos. I bet you there aren't more fucking wargamers than people who own motorbikes. I mean, get your point.
Have you seen the population of India?
I mean, I get your point. But do you know what he says about Cheesemy? Says he knows. Cheesemy says about Cavill, he knows about 40k though, and that is my point, right? Wargaming will never be popular or mainstream. Okay? Call me a miserable twat. It will always be an edge case activity for people of a particular bent. Okay? I am not. What will happen is if companies commercialize their IP in TV, film, computer game, other people will engage with the IP, and they might even chuck a few quid at the core interest. Okay, but
I feel attacked.
I think Cheeseme does have me on a point, but I'll come to him. And they will chuck a few quid at it. But I don't think the core activity will engage them. And although they might engage with other aspects of it, I think it's a lost cause. Cheeseme has actually hit my sort of like fucking, what's the word? He's garlicking the vampire because X-Wing is the best argument that I'm wrong, and I'll give you that. But even X-Wing died. But there is an argument to say that the X-Wing died because they ran out of things they could work with within the IP space, and Disney didn't give them enough freedom to create and innovate within the IP space. Now, I don't know if it's correct, but that's sort of what I've absorbed from the internet. But I think there is it's like 40k, right? The colossal megalith that is Games Workshop. I think a ton of people buy Games Workshop models. I don't think a ton of people paint them. I don't think a ton of people assemble them. I don't think a ton of people paint them. But and even less people play with them, is my contention. X-Wing died for the same reason the Nintendo Wii didn't get a hold on the audience it gathered. So what's that? Both brought a lot of new folks into the hobby. So why... You've intrigued me, Cheese Me, by saying that X-Wing died for the same reason the Wii did. Now, we had a Wii back in the day, and me and the kids, my stepkids, used to play the Wii tennis and, you know, all the fucking stupid waggly games with it.
What stupid waggly
You know, where
games.
you had to do that,
the
like...
best description I've ever heard for fucking gaming on a Wii.
It's fucking... It was retarded. My gut feeling on why the Wii died was that it was a novel activity that grew very thin, very quick. Yeah?
Yes.
And are you saying that X-Wing was the same? Normies bought it because it was accessible, but then it was an activity that wasn't fun, that they grew tired of very quickly. Is that what you're saying, Cheese Me, or am I putting words in your mouth and completely misreading that?
I would probably agree with you.
I'm going to quickly go across because Damon made a comment and I've missed it because I didn't.
Bollocks.
So Damon said, wargaming has been a thing since the beginning of the 20th century. It's progressed from a history nerd interest to a broader... Yeah. I'm not saying that it's made progress, Damon, but I think it's a million miles from being mainstream. Am I wrong?
Well, again, it used to be how you educated your new officers, wasn't it? Back in the day.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the old was it the Austrians used it? So Shakos says on the Wii, I would say sales of the Wii and sales of new TV matched. People clearly got for smashing the. Wargaming is not as niche as it used to be. Really? Do we not think so?
I'm
not convinced, Cheese Me. I'm not. That's yes. And to be fair, that's the other thing. Obviously, it won't ever be that mainstream. So it would never be as mainstream as, say, a national sport like American football, soccer, or football in the UK. I agree it's the most accessible it's ever been, but I don't necessarily agree that that's leading to explosive growth in the sector.
In the hobby sector.
I do think those entrenched and enfranchised players are spending more money in the sector. I think what's happening is we're building... Whereas, I mean, I started in the 80s, and correct me if I'm wrong. So, in the 80s, even when I was doing 40k Rogue Trader, which was my first game, I was buying airfix Russian helicopter kits and kit bashing them and mashing them into like futuristic flyers because Games Workshop didn't do vehicles, so we had to improvise and do our own thing.
Yeah.
All that's happened, I would argue, is that whereas back in the day, we bought a bit of stuff and then spend a ton of time buying shit from the hardware store and DIY shops and making our own stuff. It's like making our own terrain tile sets and terrain out of fucking kitchen junk. Now what happens is we buy stuff off the shelf for the job. Gaming mats, terrain.
Yes.
That so yes, there's definitely been an industry created to feed our culture and feed our community. And I'm not saying it hasn't grown, because it must have grown, I guess. Everything grows organically. But I just don't think that I think that there needs to be an element of people saying, what I'm doing is weird and niche, and it will always be weird and niche.
Yeah.
Do
I mean,
you know what? I've just thought there is something in the current YouTube videos that sort of connects with this. You chat on, mate. What were you going to say?
My thoughts on this as well, right, is that with the advent of the internet, it's become easier to feel part of a group and as part of like a collective, and therefore it seems more popular and more connected. Possibly. So the reason I'm saying this, right, is look at what we've got here. We've got a Texan, a Dutch guy, a load of randomers from the UK, etc. And we're all sat here with this one common thread that connects us all. Roll back 20 plus years, and it was you and your local area, and only your local area.
Yeah, no, well, do you know what? That's an even, do you know what? That's even stronger case for my argument that it hasn't grown, but what's happened is social media has connected all of the remote parts together, so it appears larger, even though it's basically the same size, just less fragmented. I think that one's a win for me.
Is it? Is it?
Okay, I don't think I've convinced him. Again, don't get me wrong, guys. I don't want to demean what we do. I don't want to, label us or, deprecate us. What we do because we enjoy doing it. But I think the brutal truth is that the actual head count of people who don't look at us out with the old side eye going, okay.
They're a bit,
it's
fucking
like
weird.
Not fucking huge.
I mean, again, right? It's the thing. It's that synonymity, isn't it? Of like when you introduce the fact that you're a war gamer, typically to your work colleagues or like friends and that kind of thing that
Best
aren't
ass
necessarily
spam.
into the hobby. The stock answer you seem to get is, oh, you play 40k then, because they've monopolized on the sector and because they've capitalized on that market. It therefore has kind of become synonymous. It's like, yes, but no at the same time. And they're like, well, what do you mean? It's like, no, I don't play 40k because 40k is dog shit. But let's not open that can of worms right now. And how big is Big Twins? What the fuck have I walked into? Jesus.
But again, because you see, this is. But I think, David, what you've just said is another indicator for me that it's a false increased awareness of something does not indicate increased engagement with something. It's like the fact that you say to people miniature wargaming and they go, "You mean Warhammer?" It's like, well, that tells me that A, you're not a mini wargamer, and B, you're not even that well engaged with Warhammer, otherwise you would understand the difference between the two terms. All that you are is a normie that has brushed up against Games Workshop and then sort of like absorbed into your fucking perception this Warhammer word. Probably because you saw it across the high street and thought, what the fuck's that?
And then looked in the window and went, oh, that's what that is. Oh, fucking hell.
Never gonna happen, Rich. Calling it now. And I mean that, I don't mean that in a sexist, exclusionary way. I mean that in a realistic way. There will always be a proportion of ladies that play miniature war games. Probably around 1 to 2%, I would imagine. Because my experience of 30 years of meeting people who enjoy what we do is their brains are wired a particular way. And I don't tend to meet many ladies of the fairest sex whose brains are wired that way. Whether that's genetics, don't know. But, as I say, it just seems...
Lord.
What's weird for us is even weirder when you're carrying the double X.
How the fuck?
There, what?
Warlord. What the fuck, Warlord?
Jeez. Damn it! Let me just let's just. Are you struggling with your fucking hobby? What's going on, mate? You having a mare?
Come have a look at this, boys and girls.
Hang on a minute. Let's see if David's bloody video ninja's still working. That one's mine. That's David's. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. What's going on?
So we build this bit, and it's very specific about not gluing this so that it can spin and tip.
Yeah.
Then it says, don't glue that into there and don't glue the turret ring in. Well, when I put this bit in this hole, it doesn't fit without some finagling, and then B, once the gun is actually in position, the bottom doesn't actually sit on the bottom of the vehicle where it should. And even with copious amounts of glue and leverage, it just kind of does that. That's really good, isn't it? Fucking piece of shit. I'm not triggered. You're triggered.
Yeah, just season him up. Are you quite finished?
No, I'm not.
Shakar says still sounds better than War Cradle.
I mean, look, what? It's a quality gun, that. It's rattled loose in 30 seconds. And obviously, it does make contact with the bottom of the vehicle, but with the fucking seat, not the peg. There's a lot of melty plastic glue in the bottom.
You've missed some subtlety maybe of the assembly process?
No, I haven't. I'm doing as instructed.
Okay. Okay, calm down.
I mean, I could put this on before that, but that just seems like suicide to feed that tiny little ring down across this bit. But we will see.
Well, it do.
I'll tell you what it is. The seats are actually too wide for the vehicle.
Hang on
The
a
seats
minute. Hang on a minute. The dotted line on the turret ring seems to be connecting with the gun. Does the gun fasten to the turret ring on the inner surface? Look, there's a dashed line that runs from inside the turret ring to the gun. Is there some fixture you're missing?
Hang on. Let me pop it through. Fucking like putting a condom on. Jesus Christ.
It's like thumbing in a piece of old rope.
What you mean that bit there?
So maybe you glue that and it holds the entire structure. Look, you see?
That seems a lot sketchy, but we'll go with it.
See?
We'll go with it.
See, Shakos says you attach the little knobby fork.
Spam's attacking us because we can name one or two women games designers.
I couldn't even name one or two, I don't think.
There's that one that went to Modifius.
Board game designers?
No, there was that woman that went to Modifius at the same time James went.
Is there? Okay, what's her name then?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Right.
How I've got to just sit and hold this for 25 minutes.
So Miniac has just put out a new vid. And basically, long story short, he's closing down his YouTube studio and moving everything back to his home. So one of the reasons he's doing that, he says at the beginning of the video, is that he overreached in his mind when he bought that office space, or when he started leasing that office space. He had these massive ideas that his business was going to grow, and he was going to be like a team of people, and they were going to be they were going to be doing battle reports, and they were going to be doing this, and they were going to be doing that, and he was just going to explode into this huge going concern that needed amazing amounts of space and huge teams of people. And basically he's going, no, it's not going to happen. After a few years, I now realise that this is a weird corner of Weirdsville, and it's got its own scale, and it's got its own vibe. And he's just pulling back. He's cutting back on, he's cutting back on his scale of his operation, and he's doing something that's going to be more manageable for him, more realistic for him, more sustainable for him. And it's just occurred to me that it's yet another indication that I think there's this delusion perhaps out there that what we do has got massive potential for growth. And as I say, it's not the same as Luke, Shakos. He is carrying on. All he's doing is just basically scaling everything right back so that he's got low overheads. He can keep, and he can just tick over and make a comfortable living instead of an aspirational corporate wannabe mega fucking plan. I mean, I think I totally agree that it sucks that there are not 50% men and women who do what we do. In fact, what was the one thing I will say that's really nice, and David and I, the one thing I would always advocate for people who are into wargaming is to explore some of the other areas of the hobby, roleplay gaming, tabletop roleplay, and board games, because there is a much higher female engagement in the board gaming space. When we used to play board games at the gaming club in Butte in Scotland, quite often the women would outnumber the guys, and it was awesome. It was awesome to go to a club night where there was almost like 50-50 parity between the sexes. But the thing is, that's because the board gaming space has a lot more. Games have got different levels of complexity, different levels of engagement, different
vibes.
Yeah, different aesthetic manners. There's so much more there's so much more variety in the board gaming space. You've got stupid little 15-minute card games with pretty little pictures of cats on them, right through to Twilight Imperium 4, which is like a 7-hour conflict resolution game where everybody's trying to fucking dominate the universe. And the thing is, like, loads of people can find their space within that. The problem with wargaming is there's a whole core of experience within wargaming: miniatures, measuring movement, resolving interactions,
painting,
some sort of random. Well, I'm just talking about the games at the moment, mate. I mean, Jesus Christ, the hobby other side of it is. We'll come to that, actually. That's a great segue. Again, I'm happy to be told I'm talking out of my arse. But like I say, it doesn't really matter which miniature war game you play. All of those elements are the same. Spatial awareness, measurement, ranging, some sort of random element, so you've got to sort of like mentally calculate your odds of success, pick a good strategy over a bad strategy. And those sort of things don't exist in all board games. No. Some board games are much more forgiving, much more intuitive, much less rational.
Again, look at the disparity that I have just in my gaming shelf downstairs. We have Arkham Horror and Spam. Yes, I am going to just use you as my fucking temperature beat stick right now. Arkham Horror. Sam absolutely loves it. Loves the game itself. Loves how brutal it is. But also gets very irritated by the fact that we're always nails on a chalkboard, just about to lose when we're playing the game. She loves Everdell. Everdell's amazing. We've played multiple games of that. We've had Everdell Duo and everything else. Spam has zero intention to play Imperium Horizons. Let's play Civilization, but the card game, yeah, no, not her vibe, not her thing. Voidfall, migraine in a board game in space. Yes, sign me up. Spam, no, fuck off. Tindaya, probably a little bit. Just for Spam and what she likes. But again, Spam's found other things that she likes in the miniature gaming sector. Gaslands, Carnivale. What else have we played that she's liked? It's another one, I think, but I can't remember what it is. I think we've only played it once.
I mean, I was watching a great video where there was these two women going to an Infinity tournament. And if there's a miniature war game that I would say this is probably the most woman unfriendly thing I've ever seen, It's Infinity.
Yeah.
But they were loving it, and they were doing it competitively. And I was like, okay, totally respect that. That's fucking cool. But bless them, I don't think those ladies were necessarily hugely representative of their sex. I don't imagine they were leaving a massive cohort of like-minded women down to that tournament. And that's just the sad reality of it. Talking about, I mean, we've talked about a lot of things, and I'll tell you something else, right? Here's something else, right? We've talked about like the game and just the way that war games are a very odd form of confrontational gaming. In fact, do you know what? Before we move on to that topic, I've just had another thought. How many female chess grandmasters are there? Somebody Google it, quick. Ask Grok. Because chess is a war game, as we all know.
Oh, for fuck's sake. To be fair, though, Cheese Me has just thrown you under the bus.
What? More than
More
I know.
than you know.
No, 42. No, that's the meaning of life, Cheese Me. That's a different number. Is that real? Is that there are 42 female chess grandmasters, and how many male chess grandmasters are there? This is great. This is like.
Why are you getting everybody on the internet to do your dirty work?
They are the puppets in my hand. So is it what, like 42 women, 45 men? Is it like 50-50? Is it?
No, it's probably like 42 women, 350 men.
More like 42 women, 2 to 3,000 men. Here we go. Shakos. So what's that? 1% would be 21. 2% would be 42.
It's bang on 2%.
Ah! Welcome to the big brain.
Question is, though, how many men
What are we going to do tonight, Pinky?
are into crochet?
Look at Ewok's comment. Puppet Master, more like Matthew Corbett. That's... Oh, I'm wounded. Ewok, I'm wounded.
Did you have to kick him like that? Fucking hell, it's hot in here.
That's fucking brilliant. Oh, dear. Google Matthew Corbett. Right. Yeah, my other point was going to be this. I can't remember where I said it. Where I saw it. Damn it. I was watching a video, listening to a podcast, and somebody made the insightful remark that wargaming or miniature wargaming as a hobby is 90% effort, 10% reward. Meaning that roughly 9 hours will be spent doing some sort of activity like painting, collecting, building, army list planning, purchasing, tracking down the right thing for the job, and 1 hour of, so 9 hours of that, and 1 hour of actually playing the damn game. Yes. You say that, Cheese Me, but not every hobby is that. People classify computer games as a hobby. Isn't that fair? A leisure interest. Okay? Reading can be a leisure interest. Now, why will people I mean, let's take reading, because I actually quite enjoy reading and I read a lot of books. And I will spend a certain amount of time researching books to buy, watching videos or reviews of books. But I won't spend anything like a ratio of 9 times the amount of time doing that versus 10% reading. It'll be like I'll spend 70% of the time reading and 20 to 30 sort of planning what my next read is going to be, or what do people say about this book series, is it worth my time, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
it's going to be nowhere near 90-10.
hang on.
Cheese Me says, ever tried installing a game and optimizing?
There's people that build PCs as a hobby.
Yeah. Fuck off. Reading as a hobby is 90% finding books. No. Never was. Never was. Never will be. The only way it could be 90-10 is if you write your own books and then have to read them. That's the only way that's going to work. Oh dear.
Where did my SDK go? There it is.
Again, like, I understand what you're saying about you can install mods on your PC games. You can, I don't know. I mean, again, I play point and click type adventure games, so I spend a certain amount of time reading reviews of games before I buy them. I spend time looking up walkthroughs.
You setting up your farming sim for a section.
I mean, again, I spend a certain amount of time watching reviews of maps and mods on Farming Sim before installing them and then playing with them. So yes, it's definitely not 100% play, and then, there is definitely a proportion of time, but it's going to be nowhere near 90-10. No way near. Yeah, totally get it. But again, I'm just going to say this, right? People who play the Farm Sim Esports League, I bet you most of their time spent preparing is actually playing Farm Sim. I doubt it's fucking doing 90% of vaguely relevant activities around Farm Sim.
They actually hold down a job farming. But the other thing that we haven't really touched on about it being popular, and it does sound slightly elitist to say this, is if it becomes more popular, and there's more people coming to your local gaming club on the regular, it is very much harder to gauge the level of somebody's interests, etc., when they just walk through a door and arrive. And because of that, there's then the knock-on consequence of somebody might get into a game, spend the money on the game, then not actually like the game, which then leads to a vicious cycle of feel bads for everybody involved. So I don't ever want our hobby to become mainstream.
Trevor, I was driving tractors before you were a twinkle in your father's eye, son. Born and raised in Lincolnshire, my dad worked on the land for basically more than 2/3 of his life. I've been in more tractor cabs than you've had hot dinners. Anyway, carry on, mate.
But the point being, the point I was trying to make was that if it becomes more mainstream, it then becomes more disposable, more throwaway. I feel you're gonna have I mean, the media and the marketing are already bad enough in manipulating fucking FOMOs and everything else. Can you imagine if there's fucking 4 times the current numbers in the hobby trying to get their hands on shit? It'd be
Yeah,
a fucking
yeah.
nightmare.
I suppose that's a good way to look at it. Is like,
I'm not.
I mean,
Again.
do you know
I
what
am
though?
not trying to be elitist when I say it, but
Look,
this hobby is not for everyone.
but let's be realistic. Let's say that the Black Swan event happens and these things that we call war games become as popular and as fucking the latest bullshit on Netflix or whatever. There are as many people down the fucking there are as many people down your local wargaming club as there are attend the local fucking gym just to do a bit of a workout. Let's say this Black Swan event happens, and like you say, suddenly demand for everything goes through the roof. You'd like to think that your industry would just step up and make people what they want. So it won't be a case of quantity. It did beat Warhammer in those what they call that American retail metric. It was number 1 for a couple of years, was it 2 or 3? But it didn't last. And like I say, Cheese Me, I maintain that the reason it had a surge in popularity, people engaged like fuck because the IP was spot on, the product was ready to go out of the box, so it passed the Christmas morning test, as Ash Barker calls it. They got it to the table, they played it, and they thought, this is fun, and then they played it again, and they thought, yeah, this was fun, and then they played it again, and then they said, should we go down the pub? Whereas, but a few people like myself played it and said, that's a fucking good game. I'm going to add that to my repertoire, and I'll keep picking bits and pieces up. And when I can talk people into a game, I will. I'll tear their arm off because I like it. But I didn't drive that massive surge in sales, and I'm still here. I'll still happily play X-Wing, and that went off a cliff. So I'm just saying, I think the baseline is real. The humps, they're the ephemera. They're not real. The other thing is, I don't know if we've got crossed wires. Because Cheese Me said, sorry mate, Cheese Me said about Farm Sim Tormies, if they were easy, then I would win them. I don't know if I've come across wrong. I'm not saying that, for example, my dad used to love fishing. He used to try and get me and my brother into fishing. Every time we went on holiday to the Norfolk Broads, he'd try and put a rod in our hand and try and get us to fucking be engaged. It was not happening, Dad. We didn't like fishing. And I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying anything that I don't like is easy. I'm just saying that I think there are some activities where the 90-10 rule, and I'll say activity, hobby, leisure interest, whatever you want to call it, there are some aspects to it where the 90-10 rule, whatever, doesn't apply, but it definitely applies to this. To get to your payoff play point requires a massive amount of upfront effort and work. Depending on how compromised you want the delivery, because again, if you don't care about the end experience, you don't care about your terrain being beautiful and painted, you don't care about your table looking atmospheric and engaging, you don't
But again,
care
don't
about your
care about
miniatures
your
being...
miniatures being painted.
Then yeah, you can change that. You can make it 50-50, 60-40, 30-70. You can do what you like. But to get the full experience, I don't think you can compromise on that front loading. Anyway, that's enough of me prattling on. You have a go, mate, before I
The
talk
one
myself to
and
death.
last final thing I want to say is, and I think it's been mentioned a couple of times already with like Papa Disney and X-Wing and everything else. We are seeing more and more of these crossover products at the moment now with like Fallout fucking MTG decks, Fallout miniatures game, Assassin's Creed game, etc., 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 Assassin's Creed fucking MTG decks, etc.
Did I see
There's
there's an Assassin's Creed RPG coming as well?
Not sure.
I'm
If
sure
you
I
did,
saw an
I've
advert
kept my
for
head
it.
under the thing. But anyway, those, yes, it's good as a crossover product that somebody that's spending a lot of time on the PC might want to put down the controller and the keyboard and actually touch some grass and interact with some human beings. That's fine. That's fine. Nobody's knocking that. The issue here is how many of these games get to a certain stage and then there is no further work and or anything done with them because the IP holder's gone, no, it's going in a direction I don't like, etc. It's outside of the wargaming industry's control, because you're buying the licenses. But the licenses are occasionally what gets some people hooked and interested and wanting to dabble more and more within the hobby itself.
And that is why I don't think... Well, you can't say never. That is why I think you're right, and I think that's why any war game that's linked to an external IP that did not start as a war game or a game of some sort is going to be very hard to sustain for years, decades, like 40k has gone. It's going to be virtually impossible.
Yeah.
And I do think you're right as well in saying, and I think Cheeseme's trying to say the same thing when he says that the humps do bring the baseline up. If you put X-Wing in the hand of 100,000 people, there probably were 1,000 or 2,000 people that actually said, this is actually fucking cool. Is there anything else like this that I could do? And they then went down the rabbit hole. I mean, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. All I'm doing is saying that we'll always be the 1 to 2%. Do you know what I mean? That there is a strong argument, Shakos, to say that the Lord of the Rings did save Games Workshop from oblivion. And I think I've seen that argued by multiple content creators and what have you, that they'd actually made a lot of bad decisions, but the success of Lord of the Rings
rescued them.
Well, yeah, okay, Cheesemate, you get my point. You know, 1 or 2%. Oh, that's a lot. Yeah. Well, maybe maybe why maths is a bit, maybe it should be 0.1 or 0.2% or whatever. But ultimately, I think it's going to be, we are what we are, and the hobby is what it is, and it's not any the less for it. Okay? Because this is the other thing. I think that Games Workshop is an anomaly that is what it is. If you love that, and if you like Games Workshop, then fucking great. Absolutely stoked for you. I cannot stand them pretty much universally now. I don't like their game systems. I don't like the way they manage their products. I don't like the prices they charge. I don't care any
I
fucking
don't
more.
like it.
But if you do, that's fucking awesome. But I don't.
Again, a lot of this is an attitude thing. It's a hobby. It's for enjoyment. Paul touched on it at club on Monday night, actually, with Jamie, about like we went through the history of us as gamers, etc., didn't we, mate?
Yeah.
And you said about the fact that you used to be massively into your TCGs and your Xbox and stuff because you could pick it up and put it down. Now you're a bit older, the kids have flown the nest and that kind of thing. You are more interested in actual gaming and actual play experiences.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's where I am as a hobbyist. And
As a
not
closing
everyone
point,
is.
I think wargaming, if not more popular, is certainly more accepted these days as part of the
that's
wider
fair.
geekery.
Yeah. And I think as well, things like, although Games Workshop has just, it's like I said, putting itself in the consciousness of the normies is sort of good as well, because it's, even if people have got no intention of ever spending 3 hours standing at a table pushing little toy soldiers around and throwing dice at their opponent, at least when you say that's what you do, they go, oh yeah, I've seen people doing that. Or my kids used to do that. And that is definitely a thing. More people are touching it, even if it's to go, oh. So yeah, there is that. Definitely. And martial arts is the same. You know, obviously I did that for years. Taekwondo, Shotokan. And obviously there used to be a time when sort of like martial arts was wrapped in mystique, but now mixed martial arts fighting, MMA and all that has demystified a lot of it. People now understand that there is a huge range of martial arts. They understand that there are racially, ethnically associated things like Kali and sumo and fucking kung fu. That it's all people, even sort of like normies, average people understand what more about what it is. But I don't necessarily think that the people who obsess about it and make it one of their main drives is going to explode. It's just not going to happen for that as well, for similar reasons. You've just got to be wired a particular way.
And again, it's nice to have colleagues at work, particularly in the industries me and you are in, Shakos, where people play games, understand games, interact with games, etc. Like, again, the fact that I've stumbled across Jamie where I work currently, and the fact that Jamie is into his 40k, he's very much cut from the same cloth as me and Paul, of just wants to play games for fun, etc. He's also just restarting back out, and it's been really nice to see him get interested.
Yeah. Sort of rediscover his nerddom.
About the shit that I've been into for years and have been for years. And again, similarly, it's been nice to show Spam the stuff I'm into, find stuff that we can both play, both enjoy, whether that be a board game, whether that be a space game, and
or one-page
rules. Not space game, war game, and play it.
Right, it's 10 o'clock. Calling it?
It is.
Have you?
Yeah, I know it's been a bit.
Did you manage to get that? Did you manage to get your weapon stuck to your ring? Okay.
No, I haven't. I haven't. I've got that little SDK FZ222 is done. My SDK 250D is done. I've got all the resins out from my bolt action German army because I'm going to give them a wash with my wasteland warfare resins that I turned up the other week. And then I can start building shit.
David has problems committing to rings. I'm a bit disappointed that I could basically go on about his weapon and his ring, and he didn't even bat an
I
eyelid.
don't rise to bait. I don't rise to bait. I just
Well,
as a
I
parting
haven't
shot
had
before
time.
we go.
I've been so busy talking, I haven't even fondled or squashed my sausage a bit. So
Final parting shot. There has been some stuff discounted on the Amazon Prime Day if you're a Prime Day member.
oh yeah, for
Most
what?
notably was some Vallejo coloured primers.
Ooh, how deep a discount?
Only a couple of quid off.
Okay,
But when it's 11 quid and it's down to 9 quid, it's
that's about 15%.
saving. Yeah.
Better than a poke in the other chapstick. I should dabble with some of them actually.
I'm really annoyed because I've now found that they do a Middlestone equivalent in primer. It's called Dunkelgelb.
Did you see Ewok's fucking comment? He had mastered
Yeah,
the
I
bait. Very clever.
One day, guys, one day I'm going to come on here and tell you he actually did it.
That was fucking brilliant. Right, do you know what? I think I enjoyed that stream so much. Thank you so much for you guys in the chat. Really brilliant engagement tonight. That's awesome. Cannot thank you enough. I really can't. If you're watching along later on YouTube, then thank you for your time also. If you can find time to do only one thing on your way past, then please click the like button. If you want to do the rest of the YouTubey shit that's listed underneath, share, comment, subscribe, you know how it goes, then do that as well. But if you can just give us a thumbs up, that's all that we ask for. And I think at this point, David and I will call it a night. And we will see you next week for more of the same nonsense and chaos. See you later, guys.
For a thumbing, boys and girls. Bye.
It's another Thursday night. I see Crispin's wearing tights. Sparrow's getting in the bath. Young David's full of wrath. Paul is tightening his straps. Where on his apron you saps. Technical difficulties, they're really such a crime. Technical difficulties, they happen all the time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. Yellowbelly Tabletop time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. Cheese Meat is on day release. Damn still tries not to crease. Ewok's keeping nice and warm in bed with Russian uniform. Meanwhile, the handyman is opening up the can. Technical difficulties, they're really such a crime. Technical difficulties, they happen all the time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. Cheese Meat is on day release. Damn Chef tries not to crease. But Ewok's keeping nice and warm in bed with Russian uniform. Meanwhile, the handyman is opening another can. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. tries not to crease, and Ewok's keeping nice and warm in bed with Russian uniform. Meanwhile, the handyman is opening another can.